All right, you want to talk about Liam Payne?
Yes, I suppose we should.
Cool. No sound bites?
Nope.
All right, well, Liam Payne died on my birthday, so
Oof, that's rough.
your thoughts now? Too slow. Okay.
I was going to say it ruins your birthday, but that's me.
Well, I'm not really.
So I'm not going to say that.
No, I wouldn't say like I was a huge fan of him, and I not a fan of One Direction. I don't think many men are. It's cool if you are, but I'm not.
I guess even people who were One Direction fans would acknowledge that One Direction hasn't been around for a long time. So I don't think even people who are fans of One Direction have been into One Direction for the last few years at least.
I think they still listen to their music. And
No, into the band members. But I'm saying One Direction as a band, their old songs, I don't think that is as big as it used to be, just because they're not together anymore. So if you want to listen to Harry Styles, you go listen to Harry Styles. Or...
That's what makes you beautiful.
They got some classics. I won't lie.
They were a boy band, they gotta have those hits.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was incredibly sad, and I don't know why, I'm not surprised, but I was, quite frankly, pretty fucking disgusted by how many jokes were made about it. I mean...
Oh, the reaction online was crazy.
I mean, I understand he wasn't exactly the most likable person ever. I found him quite arrogant. I mean, I think it was even last week he went to Noel Horan's concert.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw a video of it, and he just seemed like such a nonce. But, he didn't deserve to... He shouldn't have killed himself is what I'm trying to say.
No, I think that, for anyone to be driven to a point where that is the outcome, what happened to him, obviously he had some kind of a mental break or...
he was on, tons of drugs, I think.
Yeah, some kind of a bender that went wrong or, whatever it ended up being. The fact that he got to that point, I think, is a sad state. I was thinking about this. I think, in a way, it sort of shows... Look, I ain't trying to come out here and get everyone to be sympathetic for the rich. I guess the point I'm trying to make is that it shows that even, mental health cannot just be solved by getting a whole bunch of money. It's like you can get a bunch of money and a bunch of fame, and that doesn't automatically equal you will never deal with mental health issues for the rest of your career,
No, I agree. I know. I was pretty disappointed in, the internet will be the internet, but I was pretty disappointed to see. I mean, he has a kid and he has a partner.
And I mean, anyone dying at 30 is sad.
Dude,
30 is so young to die, or 31 is so young to die. I know.
He's just got family and a mother and a father and...
Cheryl Cole and him have a son, right?
Was it Cheryl Cole?
That's what I read, yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit dodgy.
Yeah, I know.
She was his mentor when he first...
Cheryl Cole, I'm not going to get sidetracked by this, but when I was a kid, I loved Cheryl Cole. I thought she was so beautiful. And
Isn't she in Spice Girls? One of the groups?
I think she
Girls
might.
Aloud?
Yeah.
Girls Aloud?
I know she was married to a Chelsea footballer at one point as well.
Didn't she do the Jenny Craig adverts? And I went to Jenny Craig. Did she do the Jenny Craig?
Probably.
Am I talking about the same person here? Didn't she go on
Cheryl Cole? She's on the talent show.
And she went on Eric Andre. Am I thinking of the same person? And I went to Jenny Craig. Remember that? Jenny Craig?
I know Jenny Craig, but
didn't she do the adverts? I went to Jenny Craig. Did she talks like that, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think we're talking about the same person.
Is she sort of
It'd be pretty funny if we went
mixed race kind of?
Let me get up a photo.
I went to Jenny Craig. Nope, that's not who I'm thinking about.
This is Cheryl Cole, as you can see.
Who the fuck was I talking about?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Who was I talking about?
You're on something a bit crazy. This is Cheryl.
Why is the 4LR thing there?
Huh? Oh, because it's
Is it just burnt into the?
It's the backdrop.
Oh, because your laptop.
This is Cheryl.
I see.
With a lot of photos of her with Liam.
Who is that? I was talking about.
I don't know who you were on about.
Who was that Jenny Craig woman? She was another.
God, we have a way big bloody sidetracked.
Jenny Craig. spokeswoman, I guess.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not trying to take away from the. Who was I talking about? I think she was in Girls Aloud. Girls Aloud group.
Who's in Girls Aloud?
Who's in Girls Aloud?
We have to get to the bottom of this British. Yeah, Cheryl. Wait, no.
So Cheryl was a member of Girls Aloud.
Cheryl Cole was a member of
If
Girls
you want to
Aloud,
be
yeah.
my lover. Did they sing that?
You are getting so sidetracked,
Spice
my man.
Girls are. If you want to be my lover, you gotta get with my friends. I can't. Victoria Beckham was a part of the Spice Girls. Wow.
Just for the record, Connor wanted to talk about this topic.
No, it's really bugging me now. Who was that woman who was like, I went to Jenny Craig? I'm like, do you remember what that was?
I mean,
Sorry,
I do.
You can talk about it. I'm sorry. I had to get to now I'm looking up Eric Andre because I know he went on Eric Andre woman singer. Here you go.
Okay. Wow. This will hopefully
This will solve it.
give us some fruitful results.
I can't find it for the fucking life of me. Oh my god, what a mess. Sorry.
Derailed by
Sorry, by Jenny Craig.
an extremely
So
intrusive
I went to Jenny Craig. That's her
thought.
name. Scared Spice. So she was on the Spice
Scared
Girls.
Spice. Okay.
Mel B.
You're thinking of Mel B.
Mel B. Fucking hells bells. She went to Jenny Craig, basically. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Fantastic to know. So helpful.
Sorry.
Here's,
I'm not trying to be
Mel
disrespectful.
B for reference.
Sorry, I just thought that was who you were talking about.
No, Mel B, who is
Sorry.
not married to
Fucking hell.
Liam Payne and has never been,
They barely
and is not part of this story whatsoever.
I was trying to be respectful and completely fucked up in every way possible. Sorry.
It happens,
All right.
Shit happens. It's all right.
I do think it
Back
was,
to the topic.
I do genuinely think it was awful. Like, it's so sad. Like, it is a tragedy. It really is. It's super sad.
Yeah, and you mentioned that it sounds like there were some issues with his past. I know one of his exes had revealed a book earlier this year where she revealed that.
Oh, he was up to all sorts of
Yeah,
nonsense.
he got her to get an abortion when she was like 18 and he was 26. There was some story about him chasing her with like an axe or a hammer or something. Really like shady stuff.
It also came out as well that he was like inappropriately texting fans. It was like, want to see my dick and stuff. Like,
that's right, to fans of One Direction. When he had an immense amount of power over such impressionable fans.
yeah, I read someone on Twitter come out about it. And, yeah,
It's
sounded
tough.
pretty
Look, it
bad.
sounds like the whole fame thing and so much attention and notoriety is not something that he was able to really deal with very well. It sounds like it didn't end up being good for him.
No, I agree.
I mean, that ex, I think she had to send a cease and desist because he was like messaging her. So he was obviously a bit like, he was obviously going through something. He was obviously going through a weird freaking period. And unfortunately, it happened. I think it's sad because it sounds like they were on holiday, right? Or they were in Spain or Barcelona.
Oh, I think he was like, we're having a bit of time away. He had one of them Snapchat deals.
Yeah, so he had to keep posting on Snapchat.
Christ on
I
a
saw
bike.
his story from the day that he
He must
passed
be
away,
rich
which is
as fuck.
crazy.
Why is he doing that? Well, I might be able to answer that actually. I think
Snapchat. I mean,
well, if I can say this in the most polite way possible, he definitely was, I think, the least popular of the group once they broke up. And I think his solo career certainly was not doing the numbers that the others were doing.
that's what's hard about being in like a boy band like that, especially when some of the other members went on to have quite successful solo careers. It becomes a bit of a competition. Like, if I'm not
Harry
doing as
became
good.
like,
Well, and a movie star too. Harry's doing it all.
well, wouldn't say star, but he's in movies.
Okay.
It's like, is Taylor Swift a movie star?
May I remind you, he's
Is Lady Gaga?
He is
movie star?
Thanos' brother. I'll remind you.
Oh, for God's sake! Yeah, and
Okay.
had they brought him back once since that fucking dumbass end credit scene? I don't fucking think so.
No.
He didn't look like Thanos, bro. He wasn't purple.
Maybe they had
Makes you
mixed
think.
race parents.
Just like Mel B. I assume. Sorry, was that a bad joke?
No, but lots of folks have mixed race parents.
I think Mel B's very beautiful, and now to know she wasn't like going after, a little boy that she mentored, I have more respect for her. What did Cheryl Cole
only
do?
Cheryl Cole did that.
No, I'm saying a lot of them do it. That's the issue.
Oh,
What did
goodness,
Cheryl
that's
Cole
funny.
do again? Like, I know her
No,
name,
well, Cheryl
but-
Cole is 41,
So
right?
you liked her because you thought she was hot.
Yeah, she was a singer. Yeah, she was a singer in like the late 2000s. She still is. She was a Spice Girl,
Oh, so she was a Spice.
Yeah,
So she was
yeah.
a Spice Girl. So
Yeah.
she sang na 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 na
Yes,
na
yes.
na.
And like I said, she was married to a football player before, so she's been like big in the British sort of celebrity tabloid world.
Do you know who Victoria Beckham married?
David?
Correct.
Right.
David Beckham, the footballer.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Oh God, this is derailed into. I was trying to be serious.
Well, I think we've brought up, some of the things that are maybe necessary context of what was going on in his life. But with all that being said, I do still, agree with your sentiment that it is incredibly sad what's happened, and that, even if he wasn't a good guy, it doesn't mean he deserved to die at 31. It's like
Were those hotel room
everyone-
pictures true?
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
They were real.
I'll explain those in a second, but I'll just make the point that everyone, even if you're a shitty person, you deserve the right to grow and get better and rehabilitate yourself. Get clean if you're on drugs, get clean, get your life together. Everyone deserves that opportunity without just dying. So the photos, there's been a few controversies actually, which we can talk about. TMZ posted photos of his body.
No,
Kind of. I
I didn't
guess.
see that.
So people.
Oh my God.
So people who were in Barcelona, what's the word? Bystanders, civilians, showed up and they took photos just because obviously, you see it and you take a photo. Because you're like,
you?
what the fuck?
Do you take a picture of a dead body?
I guess if it's Liam Payne, I don't know.
How do they know it's Liam Payne? Homie was probably.
Read it on the news? I don't know.
I'm sorry, I don't miss in a horrible way, but he probably was a bit decapitated.
Well, so some of the hotel staff were messaging about it in a group chat.
Oh my God.
And there were some outlets transcripted what they were writing in the group chat. Basically, they described that they were saying the room was really all over the place. And then the photos from his hotel room, I think those were taken maybe by hotel staff or maybe by
it must
police.
have been. Yeah.
And yeah, those photos were published in the New York Times and everywhere else. But those were accurate of the TV being punched and the narcotics in his room.
He must have been on a massive one.
Oh yeah, I think so. I mean, God, it was awful. So the photos TMZ posted, I guess their justification. So it sounded like they had full print photos of his body, of him dead on the street, you know. But I guess they didn't run with the full uncropped photo. They cropped it, and their justification was that it showed identifying. It showed a tattoo, or it was their way of saying it's really him. You
So
know what I mean?
crazy. I
That
didn't
was
even
their
see that.
justification. But how fucking insanely disrespectful to publish even just an arm, even if you're just showing an arm with the tattoo. That's so fucking insane.
He?
You can just say that you've seen photos that confirm that the body's real. You don't have to actually post the photos.
I guess we'll actually never know this, but did he commit suicide, or was he in a drug-induced state that maybe made him think something or other that made him jump? I guess we'll never know. I know, and mostly my
we will
fault.
never know.
I think this whole segment hasn't been handled incredibly well. Mostly my fault, but I would say this: I generally do think it's I mean, I've certainly had times where I'm going through really shit moments in my life, and I've drank a bit more and been you know, a bit of a fucking dumbass and been very hard to be around. And we'll never know what he went through. And I think that's a good thing to remember.
Yeah, I think the sad thing is that, you know, no one ever wants to be defined by like their lowest moment. And obviously he was going through a low moment. Unfortunately, it had kind of the worst outcome it could have, you know, but you know, people have this question of, is it okay, you know, should fans be grieving all this stuff? I think it's, if he meant something to you and if One Direction meant something to you, like, don't feel guilty about grieving. Like, it's okay for it to be sad about something being gone that has meant so much to you, you know.
Imagine just being that young though and touring the world in some of the biggest stadiums and being surrounded by mostly young women.
Oh yeah,
And just
like I said, I think the fame and the money probably got to him.
It was too much. It just can't.
Not everyone can, you know, handle it in a healthy way.
There's a reason why so many artists like get sober and, you know, get off the drugs and stop drinking.
Well, yeah,
because they'll be dead otherwise. And the reason why they do that is because they're like, either you want to live or, unfortunately, it does come to a moment.
Yeah,
Like Liam, where, you know, it just, you take it too far, and it very well could have been like a drug-induced like situation where maybe there was all the hotel staff yelling at him, and he got maybe confused or scared and jumped off, and thought maybe he could. I was talking to my friend once, one of my old friends, about drugs, and he was like, "I hear drugs make you think you can fly and stuff," and that's how people die. It's like, I know it's a bit of a silly thing to say, but maybe he thought that. I don't know.
Man, I don't think it's so literal like that. Like, I think it's kind of similar. If I had to guess, I'd say he probably meant to hurt himself, but wasn't thinking he would die. You know, like he probably thought, "Oh,
free storage is pretty high."
It is, but it's also like a small enough where, like, if you're overconfident because you're on drugs, you're probably like, yeah, I could make it.
Yeah.
You know? So
yeah, definitely.
That's the thing. I don't think people act like, you know, you can get to a point on drugs where you're like completely delusional. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you can have like a fugue state or something, but I think if anything, he was probably just a bit disoriented and just took it a bit crazy, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just super sad. And, yeah, hope everyone's doing okay. And it does take sometimes stuff like this for everyone, artists, humans, to be like, you have to be fucking famous to be going through drug addiction. Like, it can make you realize that, you know, maybe you need some help.
Well, yeah, I guess if there's anything to take from it, it's that, you know, this is the kind of outcome that it can lead to if you don't get on top of certain things. And if your drug habits or anything are getting to a point where, you know, shit like this or shit close to this is happening, then don't let it get to this point, you know, like I got with Liam. Like, try and do something about it. Try and work on it, I guess.
Yeah. I hope all the 1D boys are doing okay as well. But, yeah. All right.
Oof.
All right.
Thank you, folks.
We handled that in the way we could.
Connor.
No worries.
Thank you, Mel B.
So I've been wanting to do that for a while, but I have to wait for the segment to be
You're
over.
right there, wow.
Sorry. I'll wait for the segment to be over,
No, perfectly fine.
to be fair.